Hey guys, welcome back. I am so excited. Today is the first video of the series for the emotional and mental things that go on in pregnancy. So today's video is all about pregnancy, and I'm going to kind of share some of the things that I did or I wish I would have done, or some other things that moms have done. But I want to start out asking if you are watching it, and if you are a mom, or whether you are a mom to grown children, or if you have little ones, or you have kids who are in middle school, I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experiences on what you went through in your pregnancies so that we can help each other. I'd love to hear for myself, and I'm sure that there would be other moms who would love to hear. So this is going to be kind of an open conversation. This is the start of the conversation, so please contribute. I would love to hear, and yeah, let's get started. So one of the big things that emotionally that I went through with Evelyn was we weren't intending to get pregnant, and so it was a complete surprise. And for, I want to say 5 to 6 months, I was kind of like in complete denial and like, oh dear, I don't know what's happening. Wasn't really acknowledging that there was a child inside of me growing. And I think that that's okay, and there was some things that I did to help it settle in that I was about to have a child. Some of those things that I did was I hung up a onesie on our wall just to visually see in our house, okay, whoa, there's a onesie that's normally not here, and there's a child inside of me, just like trying to get the mental gears turning that like, okay, there's a child coming and I need to start thinking about this. So that helped me a lot, and I had a friend who encouraged me to start praying for my baby, even starting in pregnancy or even before. I know there's people who pray for their kids way before they even have kids, which is so cool and awesome. So if you're doing that, keep doing it. That's awesome. But I had a friend who encouraged me to pray for my baby in pregnancy, and that helped a lot. Just to pray for them to know the Lord and to fall in love with Him, and to know Him personally on a level where they can experience Him in an intimate way. And that's something that I've definitely prayed for. Along with praying, I know a lot of people are often thinking and planning for birth, which totally makes sense because that's what it's leading up to. But honestly, for me, my thoughts and my anxieties, because birth can give you anxiety because you have no idea what it's going to be like. You've heard that it's extremely painful, and so a lot of women worry about birth. But something that I just completely trusted the Lord with the birth, because one way or another, the baby's going to be coming out, whether that be by vaginally or C-section. Like, I'm going to be in a hospital, and these people are brilliant and are going to help me get this baby out of me no matter what. So I don't think that was a fear of mine necessarily, the birth part, but postpartum was very much on my mind during pregnancy, because I'd heard that you could get baby blues and you can get postpartum depression, and that was something that I totally did not want to have. So during pregnancy, I prayed a lot, and I sought the Lord a lot in His Word on just that season of postpartum. There will be a video on that, and I'm really excited about that one, but just praying that the Lord would help me to be balanced in my mind during postpartum, because there's incredible changes that go on in postpartum, as there is in pregnancy. But I prayed a lot for what was to come after birth, postpartum, those months leading after. So I highly encourage you guys to do that as well, because you're kind of covering yourself in prayer for your future self, and I benefited a lot from that. So totally the Lord, not of my own praying, but the Lord really helped me in postpartum, and I think it's because I prayed a lot during pregnancy. Another thing that I highly encourage during pregnancy is to learn. It's really good to learn like the anatomy and how your baby is developing, and to marvel at those things, and I highly encourage you to do that. But as far as the mental and emotional learning goes, I would encourage taking some birthing classes. You can kind of prepare for what's coming for birth and all of things that could happen as far as being induced and what the ring of fire is, and all of those things you can learn in a birthing class. Josiah and I both took it. We took a series of classes through a doula center here in our town, and that was amazing. They were so in depth, and our teacher was incredible. So I highly encourage that. And there was a hospital one that we took that was an all-day class, and that was really informative as well, especially for how the hospital dealt with like certain emergencies and what steps went first, but I would highly encourage to just prepare your mind and set some of your anxieties and questions at ease by educating yourself. If you can't take a class physically in physical form because of even COVID, there's a great resource on YouTube. Her name is Bridget Jones, I believe. I'll link her down in the description box, but I listen to a lot of her videos, and she's continually coming out with more, but they're really informative and really helpful. She's a doula, so she knows all about birth and postpartum and all of that, but I highly encourage you just to learn a little bit about what's gonna be coming. And it's totally okay if you're not into that, but it will kind of help you prepare and be a little bit ahead of the game as far as being completely oblivious of what could happen. Along with taking birthing classes in the realm of learning is I listened to a particular podcast that I will link down below too. If you are pregnant, I highly encourage you to listen to this podcast. It's all about the identity crisis kind of that you go through when your child is born, because if you're a first-time mom, you have always done life just you and your husband or with your family, and then bringing a little child into the world and having to care for them is a little bit overwhelming. I'm just going to tell you that there is a little bit of an identity crisis that you will go through if you are aware of it, and if you approach it with grace, then you can jump those hurdles and transitions a little more smoothly than just being blasted in the face and like, oh my goodness, I didn't know this is what it was going to be like. I don't know who I am with this child now. But that was really good for me. Mull over in pregnancy, like, okay, life is going to be drastically different because I'm going to have a child that I'm going to have to care for, and I'm going to be their parent, and it's just really good. They explain it really well in that podcast, so I will link that down below and as a good resource. Some other things that I just want to touch on is that during pregnancy, your hormones are all over the place, and I just want you to be encouraged that it's okay if you are a complete mess in a puddle crying and you have no idea why. Take heart. It is your hormones, and your body is doing an incredible thing growing a human being inside of you, so it's okay. Just let it out, cry, and I'm sure you'll feel better by the end of it. But don't be surprised by all of the sudden tears or even anger, just emotions that may be wild during your pregnancy, because your hormones are going pretty crazy. And to just kind of take that in stride, like give yourself some grace. Along with hormones and being emotional, whether that be angry or crying or any of the other emotions that you moms have experienced during pregnancy, they can affect you quite a bit. As far as like, this kind of goes into body image. When you are pregnant, your body's changing like crazy. I mean, your boobs are getting bigger and your tummy's getting bigger, and most likely you're starting to gain some fat just everywhere else, because that's how your body is going to help you in postpartum. And yeah, it's good. It's good that your body is changing, but they are hard things to accept for a lot of women who enjoy having a small body or a healthy looking body, and that's not wrong. But it is going to change during pregnancy, and to not be too hard on yourself. There are probably going to be days where you're like, man, I don't fit in that pair of jeans or that shirt anymore, and it can be discouraging, but it's okay to feel those things. But you need to remember that this journey of pregnancy is more than about you. You are growing another human being who is a part of you and your husband, and it is incredible work that the Lord is doing, and He's using your body to make that happen. And don't get me wrong, I struggled with this, and I know a lot of mamas who do, and it's completely normal and okay to struggle through that. And even with your spouse, like if they have struggled with your body changing, or you've had comments by strangers commenting on your body, just the way it looks, those are hard to take. And I just want to encourage you to let it roll off your back, because again, it is an incredible thing that your body is doing, and to be grateful for it. It is much easier to be grateful for your body after pregnancy, when you realize what it actually did for you to produce this baby in a healthy way. But during pregnancy, I highly encourage you to maybe reach out to another mom who has gone through that, because it's almost not worth it to stay in a place of hating yourself and hating your body, because it's not good for your mental health. And some ways that helped me really love on my body was to do some self-care kind of things, like putting lotion on your body and all of that. Even if you have stretch marks and things on your body, like your boobs and your tummy have never been that big, like it's okay, just embrace it. And a lot of these things you're probably like, you don't know what it's like. I do, and I struggled with it a lot. So it's okay. It's okay to be feeling those things. Some of the other things I wanted to touch on was during pregnancy, you're going through so much physically and emotionally and mentally that just give yourself grace. That's something that for future pregnancies for myself, I want to say to myself more, because I don't think I gave myself much grace. And so that means if you're tired and you want to take a nap, try to take a nap. If you've got other kids, maybe nap when they nap, or get your mom to take the kids for the afternoon so you can take a nap, because it's hard work to grow a kid inside of you. Giving grace for yourself could look like going out for coffee with a friend and just having some good connection. So I just want to encourage you to extend grace to yourself. That will help you so much. As far as just not beating yourself up for how your body looks, or not being able to take a nap, or not getting to have that popsicle that you're so craving, or whatever. Just have it, take the time to do it, or whatever, because your body is going through a lot and your mind is going through a lot in this time. So give yourself grace. Okay, guys, so those are just some things that I have been thinking about and praying about sharing. I would love to hear some other mamas' experience of pregnancy and what you went through as far as emotions, and what you went through mentally through your pregnancy in the first, second, and third trimester. And I'm excited for the next few videos. We're going to do one on birth and one on postpartum, one on newborn and infancy, and one on toddlerhood. So we can save those topics and those seasons for another video. So we're just going to be talking about pregnancy. Write some comments down below, or we can talk about it on Instagram or Facebook. But I just would love this conversation to be open and to share your heart and your thoughts. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say, and hopefully some of the things I have said have encouraged you. Yeah, it's all for the Lord's glory. Love you guys, and I hope to see you in my next video.